And we could have some excitement to start things off as Gaffney starts off 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line after the excellent return by Travis Hemphill. 1st and 10 for Gaffney at the 34-yard line. The Indians, under the direction of Coach Joe Montgomery, will set up on offense. Kentrell Jones, the quarterback for the Indians. I formation. He's got Byers and Hemphill in the backfield. Jones calling out the signals. Takes the snap, passing outside. It's complete to the split end, up to the 49-yard line. Jones on a hot pass found Mac Dawkins for the completion. So Mal Dawkins with the first down at the 47. 1st and 10. Indians driving. Just underway here in the first quarter. The Indians in black. The snap. Jones back to pass, being pressured, flushed out of the pocket, rolling to the far side. Gets out of bounds at the 45. Kentrell Jones, the quarterback. As we mentioned, Germer, Byers, and Travis Hemphill, the tailbacks. The wingback is Mal Dawkins. The split end, Terrell Kessler. The tight end is Shedrick Littlejohn. The left tackle is Nick Humphreys. The left guard, Jonathan Husky. The center, Bernard Kemp. The right guard, Talmadge Pearson. And the right tackle, J.J. Hardy. That's the offense for the Indians. We'll give you the defense for the Trojans right after this play. Jones under center. Takes the snap, goes back to pass, handoff on the delay, handoff, second man through is number 5, Germer Byers, and he got maybe back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Ball resting at the 44-yard line. So a 3rd and 4, quickly setting the defense for you for the Northwestern Trojans. We'll get that right after this play. Jones lines up in the shotgun on a 3rd and 4. Takes the snap, looks downfield. He's got protection. Now it falls down. He throws over the middle. It is complete. Again, Jones hooking up with Mal. And Mal Dawkins picks up the first down for the Indians. They're driving. Crowd of 13,000 plus on hand at kickoff here at Williams-Brice Stadium. Ball resting on the 28-yard line. Indians come out on the attack again. They spread the field with Jones in the shotgun. Single man in the backfield. Kentrell Jones calling out the signals. Looks like he's changing the play. Takes the snap from center. Stands in the pocket being pressured. Jones looking. Now he's got into a safety valve and he skips it to him. Pass was incomplete. Attempted for Germer Byers, the safety valve. But it falls harmlessly incomplete, and it brings up a 2nd down and 10. Steve Berry, glad to have you along here in Columbia, South Carolina.
2nd and 10.
Kentrell Jones stays in the shotgun. He'll send twins to the bottom of your screen and twins to the top. The Indians are driving. Jones in the shotgun, back to pass, pressure by the purple gold, and they're going to get him. The purple blitz, the Trojans blitzed and bring down Mr. Jones. Number 90 on the stop. Big defensive play by big number 90. Topaz Nelson, the 6'3", 205-pound senior. It brings up a 3rd and 13 for the Indians. Again, they'll spread the field with Jones in the shotgun. He's got Germer Byers back there with him. Trojans threatening blitz. They are blitzing. Quick shovel pass to Byers. Byers is at the 20. Byers juking his way down to the 17. First down. What a play by Byers and Jones. The blitz was on by the Trojans. The shovel pass worked to perfection. And the Trojans defense caught napping. 1st and 10 for the Indians at the 17-yard line. Kentrell Jones, the quarterback for the Indians, brings him up. He'll step up in the eye. The deep back is Byers. The snap. Rolling to the near side is Jones. He's looking. He's being pressured. Byers picks up the man, thrown and dropped in the end zone, and that was an interception all day long until the drop pass. What a defensive play by number 3, Kendrick McFadden. But McFadden can't haul it in for the interception. So that brings up a 2nd down and 10. Jones was in trouble, threw it into coverage, and McFadden was there. Hit him right in the numbers. There you see Coach Joe Montgomery, head football coach of Gaffney High School, formerly of Lake City Columbia High in Jackson, Florida. 2nd and 10. Kentrell Jones under center, single man in the backfield. Tight formation with trips to the left. Jones flowing over the middle. It's incomplete and again almost intercepted. Pass was thrown over the head of Shedrick Littlejohn. Littlejohn, the intended receiver, couldn't haul it in. 3rd down and 10. Ball resting at the 17. There's a good shot of Northwestern coach Jimmy Wallace watching his team. 3rd and 10. Jones in the shotgun. He's got Byers next to him. Northwestern threatening blitz. Jones has got protection. Throws in the flats. It's complete, but way short of the 1st down. Pass was complete to number 3, Bradshaw Littlejohn. But he is way short of the 1st down, and that'll bring up 4th down and about 9. And it looks as though Gaffney's going to try a field goal to draw first blood in this 4A Big 16 state championship game. In for the field goal for the Gaffney Indians is Chris Bedenbaugh. And Bedenbaugh will kick it from the 23. There's the snap, the placement, the kick. It is up, and it is good. A 33-yard field goal, and Gaffney draws first blood. They lead this game 3-0 here in the 1st quarter. So the Gaffney Indians drive down the field and take a 33-yard field goal, and with 8:08 to go in the 1st quarter, it's Gaffney 3, Northwestern 0. Here's a squib kick against Northwestern, and it's not going to be fielded yet. And now finally at the 15 it is fielded. And Gaffney's defense is all over that one as they squibbed it into the arms of Sean Woodard, and Woodard picked it up and couldn't find the handle. And Gaffney will pin the Trojans back on their own 15. 1st and 10 for the Trojans on their first set of offense. And let's give you the Trojans starting lineup. Starting things off at quarterback is Derek Ross. The tailbacks are Darrell Brown and Anquan Heath. The flanker is K.C. Crank. We'll give you the offensive line right after this. Ross steps under center. In the shotgun now. Takes the snap. Looks hot. Pass over the middle is complete to the 19-yard line. Pass complete to number 9, the flanker, wide receiver Tico Hicks. So Hicks picks up 5 big yards. It's 2nd down and 5. Ball resting at the 20. Northwestern 12 and 2. The Trojans again in the shotgun formation. Ross at quarterback. Takes the snap. It's ankle high. He picks it up off the ground. Ross rolling, throws near side. Picked off! And he could score! The big pickoff as Ross threw into triple coverage. Ross throws right into the arms of number 2, Travis Hemphill, who picks it off and returns it to the Trojan 13-yard line. This is just a pass that if Ross could take it back, he would. 1st and 10 for the Indians. The snap, the handoff, 2nd man through. That's Byers on the carry. Let's look at that interception, folks. Ross throws it right into the arms of Travis Hemphill. He's pressured, rolling to his near side, and it is just picked off by Hemphill, and Hemphill gets all the way down to the 13. Second down for the Indians. And Kentrell Jones calls timeout. Kentrell Jones didn't like the play. It was second down and 7, and the timeout is taken. 3-0 Gaffney on top. They just got an interception, and they're knocking on the door of the Trojans. For Gaffney, back. Gaffney facing a second down now, second and 6. Motion for the Indians, they're in the shotgun. Snap to Jones, almost picked off again. That is the third pass that Northwestern's defensive backs have dropped that could have been an interception. That one was right in the hands of Bart Stiegel. That brings up a 3rd down and 10, or 3rd down and 6. Gaffney leads 3-0. Here come the Indians. Jones brings his troops to the shotgun. He's got Byers back there with him. Jones takes the snap, looking. He's got a little pressure, runs to the near side. Jones throws over the middle, dropped. And Byers, the intended receiver, had it in his hands. That'll bring up a 4th down, and let's see what happens. We got a flag on the play, and I think that is an illegal procedure or an illegal motion on the Indians. No, it's a holding call, so that'll back them up 10. Now, do you take this penalty, or do you decline it and force Gaffney to kick a field goal?
There's a flag at the 10.
The discussion with the team captains for the Trojans. The smart move, in my opinion, is to decline the penalty and force Gaffney to take a field goal, but I'm not the head coach, and Coach Jimmy Wallace decides to back the Indians' potent offense up a bit. So the Indians back up to the 20, and they'll face a 3rd down and 16. So instead of it being 4th and 6, it's 3rd and 16 for the Indians. Jones brings his troops with the shotgun. He's got Byers as his safety valve in the backfield. Trips to the top and trips to the bottom. Man in the slot. There's the snap. Jones looking. He's got pressure. Steps up into the pocket. Goes downfield, and it is caught and dropped again. Pass intended for number 3 for the Indians. Bradshaw Littlejohn, the tight end, and he couldn't haul it in. Good defense by Ronte Kirk. So a 4th down and 16, and the Indians will kick a field goal, or will they? Coach Joe Montgomery calling the plays in, and they're going for it on 4th and 16. Well, there's no tomorrow for either one of these teams. Byers is the single back next to Jones. And timeout called. Nope, Jones is just calling the play. Jones takes the snap. It's going to be a quarterback draw. No, it's going to be out to Byers at the 10. Byers at the 5. Byers cuts in, touchdown. Well, on 4th down, Kentrell Jones found Jermer Byers, and Byers dances his way 20 yards into the end zone. And the Indians have a 9-0 lead.
12 yards. 112 seconds.
Here comes the extra point.
Meatball kicking.
Bedenbaugh, the kicker, puts it up, and it's good. Let's take a look at that touchdown as we go out. It is 10-0 Gaffney on top. Here's the play that made that happen. You see Jones step up into the pocket. He finds Byers, and Byers makes a move and gets into the end zone. 10-0 Gaffney on top here in the first quarter with 6:36 to go. We'll be right back. Here's the squib kick again, and this time it's fielded at the 25-yard line by an upback for the Northwestern Trojans, number 83 on the reception. And that is Brian Blanchard. Blanchard returns it up to about the 41-yard line. It is a 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Stand by, folks. In a moment, I'll have somebody joining me in the broadcast booth if this game ever slows down. Well, here's the Trojans' second shot at offense. Ross at quarterback in the shotgun, takes the snap, rolling to the far side, has protection. Ross over the middle, incomplete. Pass intended for Jay Currents. It is 2nd down. Les Davis applying the pressure. Gaffney and Northwestern in the 4A Big 16 state championship game. The last 2 games have been played here at Columbia, have been decided by 1 and 2 points. Remember last night, Walterboro jumped out 28-0 and then had to hold on for dear life. The Indians are up 10-0. Ross in the shotgun. Nope, he's under center. Hands it off. First running play we've seen for the Northwestern Trojans. Carried by number 2, Darrell Brown. And Brown gets a couple yards, bringing up a 3rd down and 8. 3rd and 8 at the 43-yard line of the Trojans. It's the first time all day that Ross is lined up under center. The Indian defense is awaiting. We've got trips to the bottom of your screen and a split end to the top. Ross is in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's got time. Rolls to the near side. Floats it over the middle into triple coverage, and it's incomplete. Ross throws it into triple coverage, and Jonathan Dawkins and Les Davis knocks it away. Pass intended for number 25, Sean Woodard. But that'll bring up a 4th down, and the Trojans will punt. Chet Tucker checks into the game to punt the ball away. And back deep is Mal Dawkins. So the Trojan drive stalls out at the 43. There's the snap back to Tucker. He gets it off and almost gets it blocked. Dawkins will let it bounce, and it's going to roll dead inside the 5-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Gaffney Indians. Tanico Jeffries almost got the block. 1st and 10 for the Indians at their own 5-yard line. They lead 10-0 here in the first quarter with 5:25 to go. I'll thank Jim Corbett, who's doing a marvelous job at spotting for the moment. We're going to put him to work here in a second. 1st and 10 for Gaffney. They lead this game 10-0. Coach Joe Montgomery in the championship game. Quarterback Kentrell Jones calling out the signals in his end zone. Throws it complete. Pass is complete to number 11, Spencer Littlejohn. And Littlejohn gets outside to about the 13-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 2. The Indians lead 10-0. They spread the field. Jones steps up under center. Single man in the backfield. And somebody for Northwestern almost broke the neutral zone. Jones on a busted play keeps it to the 20, to the 25-yard line. And Kentrell Jones made something out of absolutely nothing. Tackle made by number 92, Chavaris Daniels.
It's the first down at the 26-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 26. Jones again brings his troops to the line of scrimmage. He'll step up under center. He's got a slot back and a wide out to the near side. That's Littlejohn. Up at the top of your screen, he's got a slot back and a wide out to the top of the screen. Single man in the backfield. Takes it, hands it off, right up the middle. And still on his feet, is number 5, Jermer Byers, and Byers gets the first down. Stop made by Topaz Nelson. Byers picks up the first down to the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 for Gaffney. This drive started on their own 5.
It's 1st and 10 at the 39.
1st and 10. Jones stepping under center. Single back in the backfield. Takes his snap. Byers is the safety valve, and Jones falls down at his own 28. Jones trying to avoid the pressure, and he slipped and fell. That'll go as a coverage sack, I guess you'd say. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 25. Pressure applied by Willie Wiley. Wiley was the one who pressured Jones, and Jones slipped. The field is in great shape for a game. This will be the 3rd out of 5 games played on this field, and the field is in great shape for a cold and blistery day here in Columbia. Jones is in the shotgun. He's got Byers back there for protection. He takes a snap on a 2nd down and 25. Pressure now. Jones rolling out, still under pressure, and Jones will go down again. Guess who? Willie Wiley. And this time Wiley got him on his own. So Wiley sacks Jones back at the 22. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and a cab ride. The Gaffney Indians came into this game at 13-0. They jump out to a 10-0 lead with 2:48 to go here in the first quarter. And it has been all Gaffney up until this point, but the Northwestern defense has started to come alive and show their true colors. 3rd down and about 29. Jones in the shotgun with Byers back there for protection. Takes a snap from center. Jones has got time. Now being pressured on the delayed blitz. Throws it up and hoping his receiver can run under it. He does! Little John's got it to the 10, to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown! Mal Dawkins on the big bomb. 78 yards. And Jones just laid it up underneath, and Dawkins ran under it. That gives the Indians a 16-0 lead, and they line up for the extra point. Bedenbaugh, the kicker, the snap, the placement, and the kick is up, and it's good. It's 17-0. Indians on top. Now this is what you call throwing it up and letting your receiver run underneath it. Watch this, folks. There's Jones getting protection, throws it up, and Dawkins just runs underneath it stride for stride into the end zone. 6 plays, 93 yards, and the Indians go out 17-0. We'll be back. (17-0) Gaffney on top on a big 78-yard pass play. And the short kick is fielded at about the 43 by number 42 for Northwestern, Drain Oliphant. And Oliphant fields it at the 42, 1st and 10 for Northwestern. They now trail 17-0. 2:14 to go here in the first quarter, as Gaffney has just exploded. Derek Ross in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's going to run a quarterback draw. Ross to midfield. Ross cuts inside and slips down at the 47. Otherwise, he's 10 yards down the field. Tanico Jeffries makes the stop. Ross takes the quarterback draw and gets across the midfield stripe. It's 1st and 10 for the Trojans at the Indian 47. 2:01 to go here in the first quarter. And the Indians have a 17-0 lead. Ross in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Rolling to the near side. Throws over the middle. It is off the fingertips of number 18. Jay Currents, the wide receiver. And Currents was quarantined. He was wide open. 1:46 to go in the first quarter. 17-0 Gaffney on top. Glad to have you along. Ross in the shotgun. Will take the snap from center, standing on about his 47. There's the snap. Ross falls back to pass, looks downfield, got a man open. It is complete over the middle for number 25. Pass complete to Patrick Rogers. Tackle made by Dean Byers. And Rogers gives the Trojans a first down at the Indian 20. Clock running at 1:37 as soon as they get the chain set. Trojans driving, trying to get back into this game. They're trailing 17-0 in the first. Ross again lines up in the shotgun formation where he has been all but one play. Takes the snap, looking, he's got time, throws over the middle, it is overthrown. And double coverage there. Number 9, the intended receiver, Tico Hicks. It brings up a second down and 10. So second and 10 for the Indians. Or check that, for the Trojans. On the Indian 20-yard line. Ross will line up in the shotgun. He's got trips to the top of your screen and trips to the bottom. Now he steps up under center. Takes a snap. Hands it off. No, he's going to roll near side. Looking over the middle. It is off the fingertips and caught. Oh, my goodness. What a play. The ball is tipped and caught by number 25. Intended for Ben Watson. And catching it was Sean Woodard on the ricochet on the tip drill. And he gets down to the 1-yard line. 1:05 to go in the first quarter. And we've seen it all. First and goal for the Trojans at the 2.
18 yards on the pickup of the 2.
An 18-yard pass, and Woodard on the tip drill comes up with it. Trojans in the I formation. 3 men behind Ross. They've got it at the 2. The snap. Ross rolling near side. Ross gets into the end zone. Touchdown. Derek Ross cuts inside behind the block of Abdul Shabazz and Greg Reese and takes it into the end zone for the score. So with 35 seconds left to go in the first quarter, it is 17 for Gaffney and 6 for the Trojans. They will attempt the extra point.
6 plays, 59 yards.
And we have a penalty on the play. I didn't see that. Ross being discussed with by the captain. Here's the call. Watch the man in the white hat. We have a dead ball foul, personal foul against Gaffney, and that will be enforced on the kickoff. Well, Ross will do the holding, and Chet Tucker will try to make it a 17-7 game. The snap, the placement, the kick, it is up and it's good. And with 35 seconds left, it's Gaffney 17, Northwestern 7.
Southland Long Homes, corporate sponsor of the Weekend of Champions.
Well, the score is 17-7, but the big play of this drive was a tip pass drill. Now watch this, folks. If you're teaching fundamental football, they tell you to keep your eye on the ball. Bam, there it's tipped, and Woodard's right there, catching it right down to the 2. That's what you call fundamental football. That set up Derek Ross's 2-yard run. That drive, 5 plays, 58 yards, took 1:39 off the clock, and it's 17-7. The Trojans set to kick off. Tucker will kick. He puts his foot into it. It's heading to the end zone, and that's where it ends. Bounces off the L in Carolina, and that'll set the Indians up first and 10 at the 20. 36 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, excuse me. It feels like a half.
Navy 32-27.
The Indians will set up on offense for the 4th time tonight. They have scored all 3 times they've touched the ball. A field goal and 2 touchdowns, including an impressive 78-yard drive. The Indians will set up on offense. Again, quarterback Kentrell Jones has been leading the way. Jones in the shotgun, changing the play. Takes the snap from center. Byers is back there as a safety valve. Jones is being pressured. Steps up into the pocket, gets away from one man. Looks downfield's got a man. It's complete. As Jones miraculously found Bradshaw Littlejohn. And Littlejohn makes the reception for the first down with 23 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Here come the Indians. They're trying to get on the board before the end of the first quarter. Jones will step up under center. Single man in the backfield. That's Byers. Takes the snap. Hands it off. No, he's going to keep it on the naked reverse. The naked bootleg, and Jones is to the 50, knocked out of bounds at the 47 with 0 time left in the first quarter. Finally, this quarter comes to an end after Ronte Kirk knocks him out of bounds. That's the end of the first quarter. Your score, Gaffney 17, Northwestern 7.
Lead 17-7 over Northwestern. Chick-fil-A.
Well, welcome back to Williams-Brice Stadium. Steve Berry along with Jim Corbett. And, Jim, it was an exciting first quarter.
One of the most exciting first quarters you'll probably find in state high school playoff action, much less a finals game.
Kentrell Jones takes a snap, hands it off, second man through. That's Byers up the middle. Byers has been Mr. Everything between Jones and Byers. They've been dangerous combination.
This is a quarterback battle. These are two of the best quarterbacks in the state, and only one of these players is going to the top high school all-star game in South Carolina, the game against North Carolina, and that is Jones. Ross did not make the Shrine Bowl squad. In fact, 2 players from around the Columbia area who had great stats did not make the Shrine Bowl squad. So this is the year of the quarterback in South Carolina in a lot of ways.
Well, Kentrell Jones has done the first quarter duties. He's got his team up 17-7, but Mr. Ross is trying to bring Northwestern from behind. There's a snap back to Jones. Jones over the middle, complete. That pass complete to Littlejohn, and Littlejohn gets down to about the 33, 34-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Indians. They beat you in so many ways.
As a running team, they can rely on their running backs and their quarterback. And, of course, that arm strength that Jones showed on that touchdown pass was tremendous. We've heard before that he can throw it 65 yards in the air with accuracy, and that's exactly what that touchdown pass was. And it looks like Gaffney is going to have, or Northwestern is going to have a very hard time stopping Gaffney at all.
Well, they haven't so far. Jones in the shotgun formation, 1st and 10. He's got Byers back there for protection. There's the snap. Jones being pressured, sets up the screen and goes down. And what a great individual defensive play by Topaz Nelson.
It's something it's unusual to see in high school football, a screen, and maybe that's why, because it's so hard to do correctly. You have to brush off your man if you're an offensive lineman just enough to get him off the ball so the quarterback has time to throw it. He didn't that time.
Well, that'll bring up a second down, and about 20. The ball back at the 44 on the sack by Nelson. They got to go to the 24, maybe the 23. So 2nd down, 21 for Mr. Jones in the shotgun. He takes a snap in midfield. He rolls out. Nelson's all over him, pressuring him. Good pickup block. Jones rolling near side, cross the line. No, he did not cross the line of scrimmage, and he throws it into the end zone at the 1-yard line. The pass is hauled in by number 11,
Littlejohn.
Shedrick Littlejohn at the 2.
That was just a tremendous play by Jones, getting his receiver some time to drift behind the defense, and that's exactly what Shedrick Littlejohn did.
And like you said, Jim, Northwestern has not stopped Gaffney yet. Even on a 4th down, Gaffney put it in the end zone.
And that ball actually was down at about the 2-yard line. He fell into the end zone, but they called him down at the 2.
So 1st and 10 for the Indians. Jones under center in the I formation. There's a snap, handoff to Byers. He doesn't get in. Byers did not get in. He got to the 1.
Looked like he had a hole there, but it was the linebacker for Northwestern who filled it. That's Bart Stiegel.
Let's take a look at that. Instead, let's don't.
Stiegel filled the hole from his left linebacker spot. This is a good time here for Gaffney to do a little play-action pass because they're close enough where they can run, but Jones can do whatever he wants. He could throw to the tight end or run it in himself from here.
So a 2nd and goal from the 1. Again, the I formation. Jones takes a snap. Byers into the end zone, touchdown. Very, very simple.
Same hole, a little bit better blocking.
Well, that puts Gaffney up 23-7.
And this one's supposed to be a shootout, but it looks like all the shooting, or most of it's coming from the Gaffney Indians.
8 plays.
Well, one of them was a big interception that set up the 2nd touchdown to put Gaffney up 10-0, or set up the 1st touchdown and put Gaffney up 10-zip. Well, here comes the extra point. The snap, the placement, and the kick. It is up, and it's no good. It hit the crossbar, so it's 23-7. Gaffney on top. Let's take a look at the pass play that set up this touchdown as we head out. Gaffney leads 23-7, and they got in there on a 1-yard run by Byers, but this is what got them down there. Here you see Jones in trouble. He gets good protection. And now look at this throw. In the air, 40 yards, and Littlejohn has to fall backwards to catch it.
Littlejohn drifted with his quarterback and kept drifting deeper, knowing his arm strength. But he stayed in line with the quarterback, didn't make him throw across his body to the other side of the field, and made it an easy on-the-run throw to loft above the linebackers and the defensive backs of Northwestern.
23-7, Gaffney on top. Here's the kick. Again, it's a pooch kick. It's going to be fielded by an up back. And I think maybe Northwestern has figured out this game.
Looked like Drain Oliphant took the kick. And that's a strategy that if Gaffney's going to use it, they're going to have to get it down to about the 20 or 25-yard line on the line and not to the 40 as they did the last time, because Northwestern only had 58 yards to drive to score, and they did.
Well, it is on the 35-yard line. The Trojans have a short field, and you only have 65 yards to go. That last drive started at the 30-yard line. Ross takes the pitch out. Turning the corner and getting some daylight is number 2, Darryl Brown, and Brown is close to the first down.
That's a little something different we hadn't seen yet. As you mentioned before, one running play so far from Northwestern before this particular play. Maybe they need a little bit of that, especially from the shotgun formation, to loosen up the Gaffney Indians.
Well, Tencio Jeffries made the stop. It is 1st and 10 for the Trojans at the 47. Snap back to Ross. Quick pitch again out to Brown, and Brown again across midfield getting some good yardage. Brown pulled that pitch in. That was almost a disaster.
The nerves get a little bit tighter as we get down toward halftime in a high school championship game, especially when your team is down 23-7. You're trying to make things happen. You might try a little bit too hard.
Brown picked up 9 and makes it a 2nd down and 1. Second and 1. And the pass was complete, but maybe he should have dropped it. Pass complete to number 9. For Northwestern, Tico Hicks makes the reception.
It's close enough for a first down, so maybe he should have caught it and hoped.
Yeah, really.
At this point, a stoppage in the clock doesn't hurt Northwestern. They get a chance to catch their breath and regroup. And this is really a tough thing to do, be down 23-7 midway through the second quarter of the state championship game, because you know that Gaffney's not going to stop throwing the ball.
No, they're not. A first down for the Trojans. 7:41 to go in the first half. 23-7, Gaffney on top. Gaffney has not been stopped yet. Ross in the shotgun. Single man in the backfield. Takes the snap. Ross standing on the 45, trying to set up the screen. Throws back across his body, and it's incomplete. He's trying to go to a safety valve, Darryl Brown, and Brown gets it off his fingertips for an incomplete pass 2nd and 10.
Nice read by the linebacker, Kano Dukes, who hung out with the running back, Brown, smelled out the screen and stayed in the way and made Ross throw it away.
Well, that'll bring up a 2nd and 10, ball at the 43-yard line of the Indians. The Trojans in Indian territory. And Ross steps under center. He's got Brown in the backfield. Ross rolls near side at the midfield stripe, looking downfield. Now Ross tucks it under. Ross going to run. Ross gets to the 40-yard line. Pickup of 3. He's brought down by number 56.
Dukes again.
Kano Dukes. It's a 3rd down and 7.
And that play had enough time to develop, but there was good coverage in the Gaffney Indians defensive backfield. A little bit of pressure. The offensive lineman and the running back pushed off the rushing defender, and Ross had enough time to throw or run, and the defense closed down on him.
Well, Northwestern will spend a timeout with 6:54 to go here in the first half, trailing 23-7. And they're facing a 3rd down and 7. So Coach Jimmy Wallace wants to talk about it, and we'll take a break. It's 23-7, Gaffney on top here in Columbia, South Carolina. Well, Coach Jimmy Wallace has made his decision. It's a 3rd down and 7, and Ross lines up in the shotgun, facing a big 3rd down. Takes a snap from center. He's got protection. Now it's falling down. Ross running across the middle of the field's got a block. Ross cannot get the 1st down, though, as the Gaffney defense swarms around him.
You got to believe that Ross was looking to do that while he was back there, because he had Rogers cutting across the middle open at about the 30-yard line, and probably could have taken it in for the 1st down if he had seen him. Either Ross didn't see him or he was trying to make the big play himself.
Well, that'll bring up a 4th down and about 1.5. And when you're trailing 23-7, Jim, you ain't got a whole lot of choice.
No, this is go for it time. 6:16 left in the 2nd quarter of play. Only a yard to go, a yard and a half. They can do it.
Well, the crowd gets into it. Ross in the shotgun takes a snap. Ross going to run it himself, and Ross may have gotten it with a spin.
Oh, he's awfully close.
It's that left foot, right foot spot. It depends on where they mark it. Ross spun at the last second, and that may have gotten him a 1st down. Timeout for a measurement.
Excuse me, Steve. Bo Martin, number 84, and number 90, Joey Chambers, closed down the hole in the middle. A real unusual-looking option play where the hole for the quarterback was going to be up the middle, and that's exactly what Ross did.
Well, they put the sticks down, and it is short. So Gaffney holds, and the Indians take over.
And with 6 minutes left to play, the Indians are now 65 yards away from the end zone, and they have not been stopped from getting there yet this game.
It's a short field for the Indians, and they've got 6 minutes to go. They've got the ball at the 35-yard line after the big defensive stop on Derek Ross. And Kentrell Jones is making everybody a believer for why he was picked for the All-Star game. He takes a quarterback sneak up 3 yards to the 38.
Unusual call. They might be looking to test and see if Northwestern has committed itself totally to stopping the pass on defense. Both quarterbacks have shown they can run and throw the ball, but Jones, I think, has been looking to throw the ball off the scramble more than Ross. The last 2 times Ross had to scramble, he ran the ball. And if he had had a little more patience or perhaps a little less Gaffney defensive pressure, he might have been able to complete one.
2nd down and 6 as they give him credit for 4. Jones under center. He's got Byers in the backfield. And everybody else is split out. Byers now steps up 1 step, takes the handoff, and no, Jones keeps it, and maybe he should have handed it off. As Jones was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, he broke 4 tackles and finally was brought down by number 10, Bart Stiegel. But a busted play.
Looked like there were a couple of Northwestern high school players who were in there putting some pressure on, and finally Jones broke a tackle, but he only got a couple of yards in the play.
So 3rd down and 5. Call it 5 at the 39. They've got to go to the 44. Jones will line up in the shotgun. Byers is back there. Jones looking for Byers. Now comes back across the field to Littlejohn. And Littlejohn is still on his feet. Littlejohn all the way down to the 45-yard line of the Trojans, and it's a 1st and 10.
Ronte Kirk, the defensive back, might have saved a touchdown on that play. A really nice-looking play. They let the entire Gaffney offensive or defensive line come in. It looked like a screen when, in fact, it was a wide receiver-type screen. He just cut toward the middle, about 3 to 4 yards down the field, got it, and made the rest himself.
4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. It is Gaffney 23, Northwestern 7. About the only thing that Gaffney has not done correctly is they missed an extra point. So 1st and 10 for Gaffney at the Trojan 46. Jones under center, Byers in the backfield. Littlejohn to the top of your screen. He's been Jones's favorite receiver. There's a snap, handoff to Byers. Byers blasts through. Gain of 7, 8 yards right up the middle, down to the 38.
Again, it was Stiegel on the stop, the linebacker. Nice hole open up on the left side of the Gaffney offensive line.
So 2nd down and 2, gain of 8. And that will bring up a throwaway down for the Indians. 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half. They lead 23-7. Snap to Jones, handoff to Byers. He's got the first down across to the 35-yard line. Again, following behind the blocking of Talmadge Pearson and Bernard Camp. Back check that, Jonathan Husky and Bernard Camp. And there's a flag on the play, and I think that's going to be a hold on the Indians. So all for naught. Personal foul against the Indians.
It's a dead ball also, so the play stands and you take the yardage afterward.
So that'll bring up a 1st and 25.
Some nice blocking behind the left side of that offensive line of Humphreys and Husky, as you mentioned. The center is Camp, and they were the ones that they went behind those 2 times on the goal line looking for the touchdown and got it. As you see, the march back of the ball for the penalty. And they went to the last 2 plays. They went right over that left side.
Why are they moving the chains? On a dead ball foul, they're not supposed to move the chains, are they?
It looked like he made the dead ball signal.
That's what I thought. Oh, it's 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. It should be 1st and 25. I don't understand that, but that's okay. They get paid to officiate, and I get paid to broadcast. Jones in the shotgun, facing a 1st and 25. Pressure threatened by Northwestern. They've got 7 in the box, and here they come on the blitz. Jones being pressured, steps up into the pocket. Jones still gets away again. Jones still on his feet, gets away again. Jones is now down at the 38-yard line, or the 48-yard line. He's finally brought down. He ran 60 yards, gets credit for 3.
Shavaris Daniels is the person who finally made the tackle, but Darius White had a chance to make a highlight film play. He read the screen, backpedaled off the blitz, got in the way, messed up the play, and then he closed in on Jones, and Jones faked him out and was able to get, they had a few more of the Northwestern players and get a few yards on the play, but he almost had that play perfectly diagrammed, defensed, and got a sack. And those are the types of plays you need to make to win a state championship.
Littlejohn to the bottom of your screen. He'll come split to the near side of your screen. Jones in the I formation. And we have a flag, and I think that's going to be delay of game. Yep.
Flag is for delay of game.
So Gaffney beginning to come a little bit unraveled here. A personal foul penalty, a busted play, and now a delay of game penalty with 2:10 to go. That's been the only thing that stopped him.
They might be a little tired.
Yeah, really.
They've been scoring a lot. Converse on that last play, Jones showed great athletic ability and presence of mind to scramble and keep looking to pass. And when there was nothing, too many people closed in, he avoided 4 or 5 tacklers and got a couple yards on that play. So that might be a microcosm of how this game has gone for these two teams.
2nd down and 12. Jones under center, I formation. Byers in the backfield. Jones going to heave it up for Littlejohn. Littlejohn trying to run under it, and he does.
Wow.
What a catch by Shedrick Littlejohn.
Wow.
Shedrick Littlejohn just absolutely ran underneath that lollipop pass and brought it in on the presence of mind at about the 17. Making it 23.
Pardon me. Soft touch by Jones and tremendous layout by Littlejohn. He just laid it all out, got it on the fingertips, gathered it into his body and did not let it fall out of his hands. Great catch.
1st and 10 for the Indians at the 23. Snap. Rolling out is Jones. He's got pressure. Jones throwing over the middle in the end zone. It is caught and dropped. No, it's an interception. They call it an interception. So they're saying that number 2, Darryl Brown, came down with the ball with 1 foot in the end zone, and Northwestern has finally stopped the Gaffney Indians.
Let me correct you. This is turnabout. That was Ross who intercepted it, the quarterback for Northwestern, who was back there as an extra defensive back, I believe, and he made the interception. It looked like it was going to be dual possession, but Ross wrestled it out of the hands of Littlejohn, and now he has given his team a 1st and 10 at the 20 with 1:53 remaining here in the second quarter of play. They're still down 23-7.
Well, that's what you call turnabout. So Gaffney's first miscue, and let's see if the Trojans can mount some offense. They've been stagnant in the second quarter. Ross firing it over the middle, complete. Pass complete to number 25, Patrick Rogers. Or check that, Sean Woodard. And Woodard comes down with it.
And that was a tremendous throw. Just a perfect rifle shot that Ross threw there. He must be pumped up after getting the interception.
1:44 and counting. Both teams, check that, both teams with 2 timeouts. Ross back to pass. Hot pass over the middle, incomplete. And Ross is very lucky that pass is not in the end zone right now, because Kentrell Jones, trying to do a little bit of turnabout, Kentrell Jones on defense almost picked that one off.
I was waiting for him to get in the play on defense. This must be great for these quarterbacks. Everybody's on them, told them they're great for their offensive skills. They're getting to play defense now, too.
We'll take a look at that interception in just a moment. Ross in the shotgun, 2nd down and 10, rolling to the near side, throws over the middle, incomplete. Let's take a look at this. This is what you call dual possession and strong arming.
It will look
snap back to Jones. Go ahead, Jim.
It'll look like he's going to throw this ball away with the receiver out on the left side. Then, there's Littlejohn. No, there's Ross. And how did he catch it? How did he hold on to it? How did he get 1 foot down? Tremendous athletic play by Ross. Now he just wants to do a few more of those on the other side, maybe on a halfback pass to him. He wants to get a couple of scores. With 1:29 left in the second quarter, Northwestern trails Gaffney. And Northwestern will call a timeout, and they really have got to get their heads together on how to stop or how to penetrate this Gaffney defense, especially the secondary of Gaffney, which is playing so well.
We'll be right back. It's 1:29 to go here in the first half. 23-7, Gaffney on top. Well, here we go, folks. We have 1:29 to go. Steve Berry along with Jim Corbett live, or not live, but we are live. Ross rolling out to the far side, looking downfield. He's got protection. Ross has still got protection. Now he's back at his own 30. Ross going to heave it downfield, and he's got a man down there, and it is knocked away at the last minute. Ross had a man in triple coverage and even had a shot at completing it.
Great defense. There were 3 defenders back there for Gaffney. Keith Weber was a man who could have had the interception. He punished himself by doing a couple of push-ups there because he thought the ball should have been his, but that was a play where Ross really hung in there, looking to throw the ball, looking to try and make a big play by the pass, but Gaffney's defense was excellent. Weber was one of 3 players around the man that they were throwing the ball to. The defensive backfield for Gaffney has really shut down Ross. It hasn't been the rush so much as the defensive coverage of the Gaffney Indians.
Well, the Trojans have to punt the ball away with 1:15 to go. The snap and the punt. It's bouncing at the 10, and it will continue to take a Trojan roll all the way down to the 8. So Chet Tucker does his job. He pins the Trojans on their own 8-yard line with a great punt. A 51-yard punt.
47-yard punt.
Or check that, 47 yards and no return. With 1:03 to go here in the first half, it's 23-7, Gaffney on top.
And the Indians right now will probably just hand the ball off or take a knee and let the remaining 1:03 of the second quarter run off the clock. Great offensive showing so far, and I bet you those guys are tired. They scored 23 points in the first 19, 20 minutes of this game, and long runs, long passes, just tremendous plays.
I don't think the Indians are going to take a knee. And no, they're not. They pitch it back to Byers. Byers breaks through the seam, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Just something tells me that Coach Joe Montgomery is not going to take a knee.
Well, I said hand the ball off or take a knee.
Okay.
I didn't say pitch out.
Okay.
Lopez Johnson and Mark Stevens by him stop.
And Northwestern will spend their final timeout.
Nice crowd on hand. A lot of people, though, were a little late getting into this game because of the traffic outside. And a lot of the Gaffney Indian fans may have missed the first couple of scores.
Well, that's why they need to buy this video.
And you heard the cheers outside if you were walking in, and suddenly it was Gaffney with the ball looking to go up 10-0 like they did. Kentrell Jones has shown why he is a Shrine Bowl player. He has shown excellent decision-making skills as a quarterback, excellent athleticism to avoid the rush, and a great arm. That throw to Littlejohn, that Littlejohn made a great catch along the sidelines, that was pure touch. The long throw that he made for the touchdown a little while ago to Dawkins, that was strength and accuracy. He has just been a tremendous player for this Gaffney Indian team this year, and here today he's shown himself to be the better quarterback of the two, comparing him and Ross. Well,
you see a shot of the crowd. That's the Northwestern crowd, and man, it's just like a sea of humanity over there. And good crowd on hand.
Absolutely. Probably fit about 30,000 people here on the bottom of the Williams-Brice Stadium, which is the only thing open on each side. So there's a good crowd from each school here.
Absolutely. Well, here we go with a 2nd down and 8.
He's just going to run out the clock. 4 wide receivers.
There's the snap, and Jones, as you said, just takes it right up to the 10, and that will run out the clock because neither team, well, Gaffney can stop the clock, but I don't think they will.
I was being facetious. He actually had 5 wide outs, and he was looking for that little seam. If you spread all 5 defenders out there on one-on-one coverage, if he gets through a hole, all he's got to do is beat the linebacker Stiegel, and he can go a long way. They might try to run another play. There's now 21 seconds left.
I think Gaffney's going to the locker room to get warm. And they're playing in the shadowed side of the stadium. I tell you, when the sun goes down here at Columbia for the next 2 games, it's going to be cold.
I'm glad people have brought their warm winter coats. These are teams that started the year in the heat of August at night in sultry evenings, and now they're ending up in the winter chill. And the Gaffney Indians don't care what temperature it is right now as they lead 23-7 at the half.
Well, that's your halftime score. We'll be back with a 3rd quarter after this.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime enjoyment.
Well, we begin the 3rd quarter with Gaffney on top, 23-7. Steve Berry and Jim Corbett along with you. Another pooch kick for the Indians. And again, the Northwestern Trojans, Jim, will have great field position.
I think that's something that the Gaffney coaching staff might take a look at on the next kickoff, because the short kickoff is fine as long as it goes to at least the 25, 30-yard line. This one starts at the 36.
36-yard line, the line of scrimmage for the Trojans. They trail 23-7. And we will see what Mr. Ross and company can do.
I'll tell you what, though, the way this Gaffney defense is playing, they might not even bother to kick to the 35.
Ross going to take the pitch and go outside. Ross to the 45-yard line. 8-yard keeper for Derek Ross.
And that might be a change in the offensive philosophy. They have not thrown on the Gaffney Indians, so they might try to run the ball, use Ross's passing ability as a decoy. They're going to measure here for the 1st down.
Well, it's kind of hard to measure when they move the chains. So it was a 1st down. No, I think they were going to measure, and they'd already moved the chains, so the official said, okay, 1st down. Ross again in the shotgun. Ross takes a snap. He's going to run it near side. They see something they like on that Gaffney defense, and Ross is to the 40. Ross is to the 30. Ross is to the 20. Ross is gone. Touchdown. No, yes. Derek Ross, a 53-yard jaunt down the near sideline, and Jim, they came out, they ran Ross left and Ross right.
Again, out of the shotgun formation, it was a passing formation. He took a couple steps to his right, and all of a sudden it was just him and his speed that outraced the Gaffney Indians. That was a play the coaches drew up in the locker room as an adjustment. It's gotten it back to 23-13 before the extra point is here, but Gaffney now will get a chance to make some adjustments too. That was a play that was designed in the locker room because of the way that Gaffney had shut down the passing game. And Ross is probably going to have to do something else like that later on this game to keep the Northwestern in this game.
Chet Tucker will try to make it 23-14. No, they're going for 2. And Ross steps under center. Takes the snap, rolls to the near side, looking into the end zone. He's got him in. It's good. 2-point conversion. And that's a big target he threw it to. Number 95, Demetric Smith, 6 foot, 240 pounds. Very hard to miss him.
Classic 2-point play at the goal line. You got your tight end rolling out with your quarterback.
Let's take a look at that touchdown run by Derek Ross.
Now watch the first move he makes. It's back and then forward. And now he's like an option play, except he doesn't have to pitch to anyone. He turns the corner, and he gets a great block there on the outside by the wide receiver, Tico Hicks, and he's away.
The state championship series.
So Northwestern now has some life back in it, and Gaffney for the first time will get the ball here and see if they can still do the same thing on offense they did in the first half. Northwestern obviously will have made some adjustments, and we'll see if they can be recognized by Gaffney, particularly by Kentrell Jones, because he has shown such poise under pressure in the first half.
Humphreys and Byers fall back deep for the Indians. Tucker will kick it off. It is 23-15, an 8-point ball game, and here's the kick. It's a high kick. It's going to go into the end zone off the L. Boy, I'm impressed with the leg on Chet Tucker.
Another one that goes into the end zone and not returned. That's an excellent thing for your team. If you're behind, you want to pin them down as deep as you can. 1st and 10 at the 20 is about as good as you can do.
23-15, Gaffney and Northwestern in the 4A Big 16 state championship. You were talking about the Big 16 during the halftime.
I tell you what, Big 16 is a tournament in which every team gets into it. The conference that has produced the state champion the last 5 years comes from this conference. These two teams play in.
Wow.
The last 5 years.
The noise level rises as the Northwestern fans get into it. The snap back to Jones over the middle, incomplete. Jones trying to force the pass into the hands of number 3, Bradshaw Littlejohn.
And that was a simple case of the ball just being thrown a little too hard, or Bradshaw Littlejohn not quite concentrating on it. Excuse me, it was the last 6 years that the state champion of the biggest schools in the state of South Carolina has come from this conference that these two teams play in.
The Indians come to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. Shedrick Littlejohn split to the bottom of your screen. Jones is in the shotgun with Byers back there for protection. Northwestern threatening blitz. Jones with happy feet, dancing around, gets away from the pressure. Jones throws it over the middle. It is complete. No, they're going to say incomplete. It skipped up to number 14, Mal Dawkins. And that's a coverage pass. That is a coverage pass. Great coverage by the secondary. Great pressure by the Northwestern line.
Jones really made a good play to get away from the pressure, make an opportunity for himself. He short-armed the ball to Dawkins. He had to throw over a defender and just short-armed it. I'm sure he liked that one back.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 10, and the Gaffney offense has not punted all game. Jones in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's been the miracle worker on long 3rd downs. He's got pressure. Jones still being pressured. He goes down.
The ball.
Ball's loose and it rolls out of bounds. It's a forward fumble, so it'll be spotted from where Jones' knee hit the ground. And the sack was made by number 90, Topaz Nelson, who has been all over Jones all game long. Nelson and number 45 for the Trojans.
That's correct, number 45, but he's not listed here.
We don't know who number 45 is.
He came off the corner blitz, and he's the one who put the first pressure on Jones and made him roll outside the pocket, and from there the pocket just collapsed. Good defense by Northwestern.
We'd love to give him credit, but we don't know who it is. Here's the first punt of the game for the Gaffney Indians. It's a short line drive punt. It is going to be touched down at about the 46-yard line. So again, the Trojans have great field position. They got a chance with a short field to get right back in this game with one quick score. And Derek Ross right now has something to prove.
Ross did it in the first half with a little bit of defense that stopped a scoring drive by Gaffney. He just scored that touchdown. Let's see what they do on offense. Do they continue with the run? Do they use a little deception? It looks like they're coming out with 4 wide receivers, but they're not in the shotgun.
Ross is under center. He's got 1 man in the backfield and 4 split to the bottom of your screen. Ross going to run the option to the near side. Ross turning the corner to the 50, to the 40. Ross gets outside to the 37-yard line. Derek Ross has run 3 plays in the second half, and he has gotten over 70 yards.
Tico Hicks, the wide receiver, again with a great block on the outside, sealed the entire play off, and Ross used his speed from there to get the first down to the 36. If if Hicks continues to block like that, Ross is going to be able to run that play all night, all day long, or all the rest of this game.
All afternoon long. It's in the shadows, as you see on your TV screen. There you see Joe Montgomery calling the defensive plays from the sidelines. Actually, we see it, but you don't. Ross under center. Ross rolling to the near side. Now going to throw it. He's got pressure. Ross has got a man. It is caught. He rules it a catch. 1 foot down by number 25, Sean Woodard. And Sean Woodard made a spectacular play to catch that football.
That was an unbelievable play because Gaffney was in a zone there. Travis Hemphill, the defender, was out there in front of Woodard, and Ross threw the ball the only place it could be caught inbounds, and miraculously it was.
There's Joe Montgomery trying to make some adjustments for the Gaffney defense. They're on their heels. They're going backwards. And you know what? It might be a good time for a TO.
To replay the first half, except the teams have
and
reversed.
That's what Joe's trying to get. He's trying to get a timeout. Ross with the keeper. Turns upfield. Ross to the 10-5, touchdown.
And this is no longer a rout. It's the offensive shootout that we expected coming in here.
And this place just got loud.
And it was the same type of play, just a run right. Keep the ball, see what you have to do. Either pitch it or keep it. He kept it, and he went right in the end zone. Again, good seal-out blocks by the tight end and the wide receiver for Northwestern on the right side. And Ross just outran everybody to the end zone.
Well, Joe Montgomery, all throughout that play, was trying to get the attention of his Gaffney football team. He didn't like the defensive set, and the Trojans are going for two. They're going to try to tie this game up. It's 23-21.
Last time they did the option pass
Ross
right.
Rolls to the far side. Looking, Ross cuts it inside. He has got the two-point conversion, and he danced the last half yard.
He's just made the last two offensive series look easy and this two-point play.
Well, the battle of quarterbacks that we expected, it has arisen. The Miracle Men are in the uniforms lining up behind the centers.
Just goes to show you how much momentum can change in a high school football game. A couple of adjustments at halftime for Northwestern. They get that great one by Ross for a touchdown. All of a sudden they're saying, we can tie this game up, and they just did.
16 points in 2 minutes.
At the 10:02 mark, if you were Gaffney, you're hoping to have the same score and maybe be driving. Instead, 2 touchdowns in less than 5 minutes for Northwestern.
Let's look at that two-point conversion, Jim. Watch Ross make this happen.
He's looking for Quan Heath out of the backfield there, and Quan might have been open, but Ross saw the seam and took it himself instead. Either way, it works. And after last night's game in which Hartsville had that disheartening loss missing on that two-point conversion.
And this morning the game ended on a two-point conversion that was dropped.
That's a gutsy call, and now the ball falls off the tee. And now Northwestern has tied it up. There is no more advantage to anyone, but momentum is with Northwestern.
That's correct. Well, the Northwestern Trojans, Chet Tucker will kick it off. Twin backs back deep for Gaffney. That's Humphreys and Byers. They stand at the goal line as Tucker's kicks have been in the end zone, and that one is going to bounce off the O. Another touchback for Chet Tucker. And again, the Gaffney Indians will start at their own 20.
Here is where a Shrine Bowl quarterback really is looking to make something happen. Not in the first play, not necessarily in the second play, but just make a drive happen. Jones is a senior, and he has brought this club to the state championship. It's only tied up. They're not down, and he's going to bring his team up there. And this is where a quarterback who loves the pressure really likes the situation. Listen to Northwestern fans yelling in support of their team. We'll see what kind of player Jones is under pressure.
Well, the clock on the screen says 2 seconds. There's actually 10 minutes and 2 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Jones hands it off, and it's incomplete. Tries the blitz pass.
It was tipped to the line of scrimmage. It looked like it was number 90 who got his hand up there, Topaz Nelson. And again, that's another pass play. The first pass play this half was another look-in that did not work. And this one also was almost intercepted.
9:58 to go in the third quarter. We have seen 16 points by the Northwestern Trojans in less than 2 minutes. Ross, 3 plays and out last time. He's facing a second down and 10. Check that. Jones, the quarterback for Gaffney, has a man in motion. Jones back to pass. He's got protection. Now it falls down as he's being pressured again. Jones is going to heave it downfield. Jones has got a man, and it's complete. And guess who? It's Littlejohn, Shedrick Littlejohn. Jones' money man makes the catch at the 25-yard line.
I think that was Mal Dawkins, actually.
Yes, it was. Mal Dawkins, my bad. Mal Dawkins again runs up underneath the pass, and there's a flag. A flag on the Indians, an illegal forward pass.
Actually, it was illegal motion.
Illegal motion, okay.
Looked like Jones hesitated coming back from center. I don't know if they called on him or someone on the line, or maybe the center snapped it a half second late, but there was illegal motion call. A great play by Jones. That was all Jones right there. That's highlight film material, but it comes back. So it's simply a long no play, and it's second down and 15 from the 15.
Second and 15 from the 15-yard line, and the Indians will huddle up and run it again. Jones comes out to the line of scrimmage. He's got twins to the near side of your screen. That's Littlejohn and Byers. Check that. That's Littlejohn and Littlejohn. There's a snap. Jones back to pass. Byers in for protection. Jones scrambling. Jones still looking. Jones at the 15. Jones to the 20. Jones to the 25. Jones to the 29-yard line. Close to the first down. He's got the first down at the 31.
All Jones right there. He rolled away from the pressure and then ran away from the pressure. Did a good job. He looked to pass the ball. When everything started to break down after the receivers recovered, he just took off on his own and made a great play to cut back toward the near sideline just to get open, just to get some running room, and then he turned on the speed and got the first down. This is going to be a heck of a finish. You know
that? Yeah. We're only in the third quarter. Kentrell Jones has thrown 6 interceptions coming into this game. He has thrown 1 today to his counterpart, Derek Ross. Jones in the shotgun. Byers next to him. Littlejohn and Littlejohn at the bottom of your screen. Dawkins at the top of your screen in the slot. Jones got protection. Throws over the middle complete to Byers out of the backfield. Or check that. That's Littlejohn. Bradshaw Littlejohn makes the catch at about the 42-yard line. Another first down for the Indians. And again, they step out of bounds, which is making this third quarter last forever. 9:06 to go. The clock stops.
Nice read by Jones, finding the open man in the Northwestern zone.
Here come the Indians to the line of scrimmage. Ball on the 44-yard line. Jones in the shotgun. He's got 3 to the top of your screen. Blitz threatened by the Trojans. Hot passes almost complete. Bradshaw Littlejohn had it on his fingertips, and it slips out.
Kentrell Jones read that blitz, the corner blitz by number 45. He read it, found the open man, threw it, and the ball slipped through Littlejohn's hands. Perfect read by the quarterback. Unfortunately for Gaffney, it went right through his hands.
And Bradshaw Littlejohn did the cardinal sin. He tried to run before he caught it.
It's actually a strong safety or linebacker blitz. 45 is lined up on a wide receiver, but he actually is a linebacker.
Northwestern has 7 in the box. Shotgun formation. They're coming again. Jones steps up into the pocket. Jones throws it incomplete. Attempted for number 21, Terrell Kessler.
Terrell Kessler also let that ball get through his fingers. It was thrown perhaps a little bit harder than necessary, but Jones was on the run. He made an excellent play, stopping himself from going across the line of scrimmage and throwing the ball for longer than he could have run for it, but unfortunately the pass was not caught.
8:54 to go in the third. Third down and 10 for the Indians, a situation they're not very familiar with. They'll spin twins to the top of your screen and twins to the bottom. Littlejohn, Shedrick Littlejohn at the bottom of your screen. 3 receivers at the top. Snap back to Jones. Jones to Byers on the screen. Byers at the 40. Byers to their line of scrimmage and maybe 2 yards to the 45. And it'll be 4th down and 9.
Beautiful read by Stiegel, the linebacker, as he saw the screen developing, came over and closed it down after a short gain and forced 4th down and a punt.
Second punt of the game, both of them here in the third quarter for the Indians. And again, Byers stepped out of bounds, so the clock stops with 8:47.
Beaten ball back again to punt. And he's done a pretty good job on the kickoffs, keeping away from the
Ross is back deep.
Well, that's what you do with your best athlete. You know, state championship high school game, you make sure he returns a punt. He's already intercepted a pass, scored 2 touchdowns here in the second half, and a 2-point conversion.
Snap back to Bedenbaugh. He gets his foot into it. It's a line drive kick, and Ross is going to let it bounce at the 20 out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 for the Trojans at their own 24. It's 23-23 with 8 minutes and 39 seconds in the third.
Not a bad kick for Gaffney. If you've got a punter like Meadball who's not going to hang it high and far, he's not going to be a college punter, but he's a placement punter. He kicked the ball where it wasn't going to be returned. He got about as much yardage as he possibly could before it went out of bounds.
This game could come down to a 2-point conversion or an extra point or a field goal like the other 2 state championship games thus far have done.
5 wideouts now.
Ross up the middle. Ross gets to about the 28 as Northwestern trying to continue the trend of Derek Ross left, right, and up the middle. And Gaffney would have nothing to do with that.
I really like the play call. If it wasn't for Mitch Rice making the tackle from behind, Ross could have gone a long way. You spread out the defense. You got at least 5 and perhaps 6 people playing wide. If you get a crease up the middle, just like Jones tried to do late in the end of the first half, Ross can be gone. So that's really a good play call. He's still got 3 yards out of it.
Second down and 6. Gain of 4. Motion now for the Trojans. Ross under center, takes the snap, looks back, going to throw. He's got protection. Ross throws over the middle. It's incomplete. Tried to throw it to Woodard, who was the motion man, but Woodard had stopped running. If Woodard keeps going, Jim, he's open.
The problem was that there was pressure right up the middle from Gaffney by their linebacker. Looked like Kano Dukes got up there, and there was great coverage on the right-hand side of the field for Gaffney by 2 of their defensive backs. Brown was one of them. The other one was Tuttle. They totally closed off where Ross wanted to go. He had to hesitate, and then Stoops was on him, and he had to throw the ball a little bit quicker than he wanted to.
Third down and 7.5. Ross again in the shotgun, looking downfield. He's got an arm. He's got a receiver open and overthrows him. Well, you couldn't ask number 18, Jay Kearns, to do more. He ran 10 yards, stopped in front of the first down marker, and the ball sailed on Derek Ross.
Again, it was Dukes applying the pressure. Number 56 on your screen, and that made Ross throw the ball a little bit higher than he wanted to, a little bit quicker. And, so some good defensive coverage on the second down play. And the third down play, a little bit of pressure and some good coverage, and now Northwestern has to punt.
Well, that is the first time. You see a good shot of the Gaffney sideline, and Coach Joe Montgomery stalking the sidelines. He has finally figured out this change in Northwestern offense. There's a high punt, a fair catch signaled for and made at the 35-yard line. So Bedenbaugh, check that, Tucker boots it sky high, forcing the fair catch by Littlejohn. And the Indians will start at the 36-yard line with 7:34 to go in the third quarter.
Nice boot by Tucker. You said he was a great kickoff man, as evidenced by those 2 in the end zone. That was a really nice punt. No chance for a return. Put a little pressure on Gaffney. Maybe the guy drops it trying to signal a fair catch.
7:34 to go here in the third quarter. The Indians on offense. Jones in the shotgun, steps back, got pressure on the Blake blitz. It is complete to Littlejohn. Littlejohn up the seam, all the way down to the 33-yard line.
That was a super pattern run by Littlejohn and his running mate there on the left-hand side, Carlos Coleman. Coleman went down the field and took a defender or 2 with him. Littlejohn cut up underneath him right over the middle, and Jones found him for a great gain. He ran the ball about 10 or 15 yards.
You want to see some fundamental football, watch this pass. There's Jones right over the middle. Cedric Littlejohn right through the defenders all the way down to the 33. First and 10 for the Indians at the 33-yard line. Jones in the shotgun. Jones in trouble. Stepping up into it, now throws back to his receiver for no gain. That one was probably best, Jim, just thrown away. He throws it to his tight end, number 82, Carlos Coleman.
Coleman will line up on the outside also, so he's a tight end on the roster, but he also plays a wide receiver. I don't know who's going to get tired quicker, either
us or them.
Well, no. I think either Jones will or the defensive front 4 of Northwestern. They're chasing him on every single play.
Yeah, they are. Jones in the shotgun. He's got Byers back there to block. Snap is high. Jones pulls it down, steps up into the pocket, throws over the middle. It is complete to his favorite receiver, Cedric Littlejohn, who is down to the 15-yard line for a first down.
If you're playing defensive line with Northwestern, you're not sure what the heck he's going to do because he stepped up like he was going to run and then stepped back.
Cedric Littlejohn and Mr. Kentrell Jones have been all offensive in this drive.
Littlejohn is also a senior, so they played quite a while together here at Gaffney.
Jones leads his troops up. He's in the shotgun. Byers is the single back. Twins to the top and twins to the bottom. Takes the snap. Jones standing in the pocket, being pressured. Jones looking, still being pressured. Gets away. Jones to the 15, the 10. Jones to the 5. Steps out of bounds at the 4.
That was all Jones. Because the pressure was coming up the middle from Willie Wiley. He had beat his man, and he pressured Jones outside. Looked like he was going to have a chance for a sack, and then Jones just turned on the afterburners. That's very discouraging if you're a defensive lineman. Make a great play, and then they come down with what, a 14-yard gain?
Yep.
No, I'm sorry, a 9-yard gain. He ran 24 yards to get 9.
First and goal for the Indians at the 4. This is what they need to get their momentum back. I formation for Jones. He's got Byers as the second back. The snap, the handoff to Byers. No, Jones is going to keep it. He stumbled, and Jones lost a yard as 5 white jerseys wrap him up. And for those defensive linemen right now, they're going, finally, we got you.
They had him closed in on the short side of the field. Tell you what, they're going to be tired. The Northwestern defensive line is going to have some trouble here. Darius White, the defensive end, Willie Wiley, Shavaris Daniels, Demetric Smith, and Morris Lumpkin are listed. They have been going with 4 defensive linemen. Now they have 5 in a goal line situation.
Second down and 5 from the 5. That play lost a yard. Jones in the shotgun with Byers in front of him. The snap back to Jones. He stands in the pocket. He is being pressured, and he steps out of it. How did he do that? He stepped away from Wiley and finds the touchdown.
Unbelievable.
Terrell Kessler hauls it into the end zone, and Wiley is sitting there looking at his arms, trying to figure out where Cedric Jones went.
Topaz
Nelson,
the same thing. Wiley forced him up. He had him by the legs. He missed him, and then Nelson had him by the legs and missed him. And that was all Jones. That is why he is an all-star Shrine Bowl quarterback.
Terrell Kessler comes in with the pass for 6, making it 29-26. I'll spit it out. Trust me, I'll eventually get it right. And Kentrell Jones, the extra point by Biedenbaugh is up, and it's good. And that makes it 30-23. Gaffney on top. Gaffney takes the lead 30-23 on a 5-yard touchdown pass from Kentrell Jones to Terrell Kessler.
These are 2 fine high school football teams here. And here's one great player in South Carolina.
Here's a great play by a great quarterback.
Now watch Wiley come up number 93 first. Here comes Wiley.
Okay.
He's 93.
There's 1, 2.
Whoops, missed you.
3.
And then boom.
And the secondary's got to hate that too because they've got coverage.
And it turns into a touchdown for Gaffney.
Here's the kick, and this time it's a high kick. It is fielded by Ross. Ross up the middle of the field. Ross all the way to the 40-yard line. Check that. That's number 31 on the return, Vince D'Amico.
Doesn't matter where Gaffney kicks it, Northwestern returns it to the same place every time. That was a great drive by the Gaffney Indians.
It was.
It was 2nd and 15 after that long pass play was called back, and they did a great job driving for the touchdown to kick the go-ahead. 30-23,
Gaffney on top. In the third quarter, 4:39 to go. Here come the Trojans. Neither one of these teams have been able to be stopped. Ross rolling to the near side, tries to spin out of a tackle and will not as he is just corralled. And check out big number 56 for Gaffney.
Dukes again. And it was Ross trying to cut it back against the grain. Dukes stayed in his lane, and he's the one who closed it down.
Ross gets back to the line of scrimmage. A timeout is going to be taken by the officials. I think we have an equipment timeout again. But this is everything that we promised you and more. .4:13 to go in the third. 30-23, Gaffney on top. Ross in the shotgun. Motion now by Woodard. Snap back to Ross. He rolls to the far side. We've got a flag down, and Ross goes down.
That was a defensive end on the right side, Les Davis, who was listed as a linebacker but was down in a three-point stance there. He just read the play, filled the hole, and that was it. No gain, a loss of a few yards.
Illegal motion, two backs in motion at the same time called on Northwestern, and if I'm Gaffney, I decline it and bring up third down. Let's see what Coach Joe Montgomery decides.
He's going to decline it. Now it's interesting. What is Northwestern going to do? Because Gaffney has made an adjustment to their halftime adjustment. Is Ross going to now pull it down on a play action and throw it? Is he going to still go to the well and try to run it? It's 3rd and 13, so probably he'll have some sort of pass play here.
3rd down and 13. Coach Jimmy Wallace with a decision to make here. Ross is in the shotgun. He shifts Brown over. Ross goes back to pass. Ross over the middle, complete for the first down to Woodard. Woodard still on his feet to the 40. Woodard all the way down to the 37-yard line.
Great pattern, great throw, and great individual effort by Woodard getting those extra 10 yards. He sat down in the zone, the seam exactly where he had to get enough yards for the first down, and then he made a bigger play out of it by getting about 10 more, breaking 3 tackles.
Tell you what, I am so impressed with the games that I've seen here in South Carolina. These state championship games are everything and more. Ross lines up under center. Single man in the backfield. Takes the snap. Hands it off up the middle. And running for 3 or 4 tough yards is number 20. Anquan Heath, the fullback. That's his first carry of the game.
A different look by Northwestern there. And they got a good yardage. They got 5 or 6 yards out of the play.
Northwestern had 45 yards rushing in the first half, Jim. They had over 100 on Ross's 4 carries in the third quarter.
A difference in philosophy. And now, at the 2:46 mark of the third quarter, the defense has adjusted to that. Where will this game go from here?
Woodard is in the slot, now in motion. Ross under center. Ross hands it off, second man through, that's Heath. Heath goes all the way down to about the 26-yard line, picks up the first down of Brown with the carry, and Brown gets a new set of downs for the Trojans.
And now it's the Gaffney Indians defensive line that will have to do, that might be a little bit winded based on the way that the offense has played them. They've gotten 2 plays and 11 yards, and that's typical high school football for championship teams. They can run the ball for 5 or 6 yards at a clip.
2:17 and counting to go here in the third quarter. It's 30-23, Gaffney on top. Ross in the shotgun with Brown for protection. Ross running near side. Brown is the lead block. Ross trying to turn the corner. Ross now cuts inside, and he made something out of absolutely nothing. Ross was going down for no gain and turned it into 5 yards.
It looked like Joey Chambers had stuffed the play. And later on, Fred Littlejohn came up and made the tackle, but Chambers stuffed the play and made Ross stop and go back to the middle, and he made a great individual effort to go straight forward and get about 5 yards, 6 yards.
2nd down and 4 as they give him forward progress to the 20-yard line. He's got to go to the 16. 1:33 and counting to go in the third quarter. It is 30-23.
This game could be in the 40s or 50s.
Absolutely. Temperature-wise or score-wise? Oh, my goodness. The snap comes early. Ross recovers it and just takes a knee. Smartly just takes a knee. That is the absolute worst thing you can have in the shotgun. Ross turning to make an adjustment on the play, and the misread by center Matt Watson thinks it's for the snap. The ball sails by Ross all the way back to the Indian 43-yard line.
That's a play as Northwestern. You hope you never see that again.
Absolutely. Let's look at that again. Watch this. Ross turning to make an adjustment. The ball sails by him, and rather than try to scoop it up and causing a fumble, he smartly takes a knee.
That could be a big play in this game.
3rd and 24. Ross back to pass. He's got protection. Going downfield. Has got a man on the fly pattern. It's incomplete. And there's no flag. And that looked like a little bit of bump and run by Gaffney. Pass was intended for number 9, Tico Hicks. Hicks beat his man.
Hicks looked like he might have had his arms hit by, looked like Omar Burton as the defensive back there. The referee must have decided that Burton was going up for the ball also.
So the drive sputters because of a mishandled snap on a shotgun formation. And Tucker steps in to punt. Littlejohn is back deep. And there are 10 men on the line of scrimmage for the Indians. They're coming. They don't get it. A fair catch is signaled for by Littlejohn, and he makes the catch. At the 15.
Nice punt again by Walker that pins Gaffney back, this time on the 15-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for Gaffney.
Sorry, Tucker, not Walker.
1st and 10 for Gaffney at the 15. The last time they had this situation, they ran it right down the field and passed it.
They had to survive that penalty and that long pass called back because of the penalty.
Well, Jones is in the shotgun, flips it out quickly to Mal Dawkins, and he is popped.
Dawkins did the only thing you can do when you're popped. He got right back up real quick and said, it didn't hurt. Didn't hurt until he got back to the huddle.
He was popped by our mysterious number 45. That's got to be Darkius White. Derrickus White has got to be number 45.
Well, that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Maybe we'll try to find out who he is.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Your score, the Gaffney Indians 30 and the Northwestern Trojans 23. Back with the 4th quarter right after this. Well, there's 12 minutes of football left in this Class 4A Division I state championship game, and Kendrick Jones takes the snap from center. He's going to run it. He's being pressured, throws downfield, and it is complete. And again, that's a case of our Shrine Bowl quarterback making absolutely something out of nothing.
He should have been stopped, but he was about to go down. He said, oh, there's Mal Dawkins. Boom. They got him the ball. Got him first down at 35, 36.
1st and 10, ball on the 36-yard line. The Indians driving out of their own shadows of their end zone. Jones will step up underneath center. He's got Byers in the backfield. Takes a snap, fades back to pass, standing on his own 25, pressured again. Throws over the middle, complete to Littlejohn. Littlejohn to the 40. Littlejohn's got a block to the 30-yard line, gets down to the 32.
Got a flag back, though, in the offensive backfield. Looks like it's going to be a holding call.
That'll hurt. That'll back him up 10 yards. Actually, from the spot of the foul, that's going to be a huge penalty.
It is a holding call.
Holding called on the Indians, and from the spot of the foul, that's going to be about a 23-yard penalty.
You put a little pressure on your offensive line when every play you're scrambling, not sure if you're going to run or pass. And the offensive line's going to get tired too. So I'm a little bit surprised we haven't had a holding call against Gaffney earlier in this game because of the number of times they've had to protect the quarterback from a hard rush.
1st and 22. The ball resting on the 15, which is where the drive started.
Now this is really where you show what kind of team you are. Even if you don't score, 1st and 22, you don't want to go 2 more plays and have to punt. You want to get some yardage, maybe get the first down. That's a big lift if they can do that. 11:04
and counting here in the 4th quarter. Jones is in the shotgun. Takes a snap, standing back on his own 5, being pressured. Jones going to heave it downfield, and it is almost picked off, but it is caught by Dawkins. He's still on his feet, and he goes down at the 40, and how did he do that?
I don't know. Wiley was in his face when he threw the ball, and Dawkins made the adjustment coming back to the ball. The wide receiver did. Wiley again putting the pressure on for Northwestern, but again, Jones felt the pressure, moved away, and threw the ball where it had to be.
Man, oh man, what a play by Dawkins. Dawkins, reading his quarterback, sensing he was in trouble, comes back to the ball. Watch this, folks. after this play.
Here comes
Here
Wiley.
it comes.
Here comes Wiley, 93. Double team, puts the pressure on, and he still gets it away. There's Dawkins. He makes the adjustment, stays on his feet for a few extra yards.
The snap and the handoff up the middle to Byers. Byers still on his feet to the 30-yard line. Byers picks up 9.5 yards, and they'll stop it for a measurement. And we have an injured player down for Northwestern.
One of their defensive linemen, Shavaris Daniels.
Jones had thrown for 267 yards in the first half. First and 10 for the Indians. Ball resting at the 30-yard line. After the run by Byers. Jones in the shotgun. Jones being pressured again. Jones steps up, throws it downfield. It is picked off. Picked off and returned for about 15 yards by number 21, Ronte Kirk makes the pick. And that's a bad pass by Kentrell Jones.
Thrown against his body down the middle late. He violated all three of those rules and did not get away with it this time. He's been making plays the entire day.
He's thrown 6 interceptions the whole season. In 14 games, he's thrown 2 here today.
That's a tribute to Northwestern's defense. They've been putting pressure on him. He's got to move and roll away, and he might be getting a little tired too, and he just made a bad decision. But he's made some great ones here tonight.
Oh, he has.
And done some great plays.
9:43 to go in the game. Northwestern's defense did what they needed to do. Let's see if the offense can respond. Ross takes the snap, rolling to the near side, trying to get outside, can't do it, gets a couple of yards.
Credit Travis Hemphill, the right side cornerback, who played off the blocker, the wide receiver, and sealed it himself inside instead of being sealed inside like those plays where Ross was able to get big yardage, and he made the tackle himself too.
Let's look at that pickoff. Watch this. Jones is under pressure, trying to find a receiver.
It's away from the first receiver, so he's going to go to an alternate receiver, throws late down the middle, across his body, and there's someone there in the middle to pick it off in the person of Kirk.
Ross back to live action, over the middle, complete. Going all the way down, and a late hit. That's got to be a late hit. No flag, though. Pass complete to number 9, Tico Hicks, and Hicks gets out of bounds for the first down.
Hicks was still struggling, was right along the sideline when he got knocked out of bounds.
One thing I'll comment, the officiating crew, they are maintaining control, but there haven't been a lot of flags. They have really done a fine job.
Kids are playing football. They're not worried about taking shots. They're not worried about saying things. They're worried about winning this game and winning the state championship.
Ross up underneath the center, fakes the handoff, now gives it second man throw, and he's got plenty of daylight. First down run by number 2, Darrell Brown, the tailback. And he was running through a hole big enough for you or I to run through.
Haven't seen that fake before. Jones faked to one side and then handed off back the middle to Brown. And a great play by the offensive line, opening up the big hole up the middle.
First and 10.
Pardon me. This game's had a lot of momentum shifts here since the score was 30-23. No one's been able to score.
Ross lines up in the shotgun, first and 10. Takes the snap. Ross coming near side. Ross gets the corner. Ross still on his feet and steps out of bounds, and there's a flag down.
It's probably either a hold or a blocking violation in the back. That was again designed run for Ross. Let's see what the signal is. It's a hold.
Holding against the Trojans. It's going to be a 10-yard march off from the spot of the foul, so that'll bring up a first down at about 14.
Again, the play was strung out well by the Gaffney defenders that really forced the hold because the players on Northwestern are trying to make something happen, trying to throw that block so Ross can get sprung. The play was going nowhere, and the holding penalty forces it into a first and 14.
Well, here comes the big play. First and 14. Ross takes a snap. Ross throws it inside Luke, complete. And a fumble. And who's got it? Oh, my goodness. The Gaffney Indians may have just gotten a gift. Let's see.
It was a wide receiver screen to Hicks. He had two other wide receivers out there to block for him. He made a nice play coming back to the ball, turned it up and was struggling and on the way down when the ball fell out.
The ball rolls out of bounds, which is a saving grace for Northwestern.
The later it gets, the easier it is to fumble. Get a little bit tired. It's a little bit colder. It's harder to hold on to the football.
Pass complete to Hicks, brings up 2nd down and 1, ball at the 39-yard line. Ross takes a snap, hands it off up the belly, wham, right up the middle for the 1st down. That was a designed handoff to Heath, and Heath gets 8 yards down to the 32.
First down.
Now it's the Northwestern fans' turns to keep warm because they're cheering and jumping up and down and yelling. When Gaffney has the ball, those fans get to jump up and down and yell and keep warm.
The entire field under the shadows of the home side of Williams-Brice. The stadium that used to sway.
It still does. Sometimes.
Ross underneath center, takes a snap, rolls near side, pitches outside this time. And a nice play by number 15. The pitch goes to Brown, and a nice play by number 15, Dean Byers, to bring Brown down on his hip.
Brown made a nice play. He cut between two defenders and a blocker to get his 5 or 6 yards on the play. Northwestern, though, has to be a little bit concerned now because Sean Woodard is down after throwing a balk on the play. We did not get a chance to mention before, but Chavaris Daniels, when we went away last time, who was on the field, he walked off and actually jogged off under his own power. So Chavaris Daniels should return back on defense for Northwestern next series. But Woodard looks like he's got probably an ankle or a leg problem.
Again, we thank our corporate sponsors.
30-23, and we'll be back.
Southland Wild Homes and Chick-fil-A. Hope that you'll patronize both.
Well, here we go, folks. A 2nd down and 4. Ross under center, takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Brown, goes over the middle. He's got a man, and there's a touchdown for the Northwestern Trojans. And a very little used number 83, Ben Watson, the tight end, is on the post pattern, and he's in the end zone.
Perfect pass by Ross. Found the right man open, hit him, touchdown. And we're going to be tied up if they make the extra point.
Well, unless they go for 2.
Looks like they're going to kick it.
Tucker has got a leg. This game, wow.
And I tell you what, if it comes down to a field goal.
There's the snap, the placement, the kick, it's up, it's good, and you're right. If it comes down to a field goal, my money's on Tucker.
Well, Tucker has shown the better leg, probably has the better range, is the better punter and the better kickoff man and probably the better place kicker.
30-30 your score. We'll be back. It's 30-30. The Trojans will kick off. Tucker puts his leg into it. It's sailing into the end zone. No, it's fielded at the 2. And that is a huge play for the Indians as they get it back at the 20.
It's close to the 20.
Travis Hemphill fielded it at the 1 and runs it back to the 19.
Extra ball. First down at the 20.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. The Indians find themselves in a dogfight. 30-30 with 6:57 to go in regulation. Both teams have 3 timeouts, and neither one has stopped the other one. I think each team has stopped themselves.
This is the time in a high school game you think about a game-winning drive to eat up the entire clock.
Jones back to pass. Jones steps into protection. Jones heaves it downfield and picked off and dropped. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Number 21, Ronte Kirk, thought he had pickoff number 2, and all he saw in front of him was green grass and white stripes.
Jones knew exactly what he did right after he threw it, and he had his head in his hands down by his knees. He knows how close he was to maybe giving away the state championship, but it was dropped.
Kirk, as you see on your screen, very frustrated with himself.
Throwing late over the middle and lofting it is a big, big problem.
2nd and 10. Kentrell Jones takes the snap, looking downfield, being pressured, rolling to the far side, throwing over the middle to Little John. Little John gets out of bounds at the 38. What they ought to do, what they should have done was said, okay, Ross, Jones, whoever wins, you go to the Shrine Bowl. Problem solved.
I think they'll both take a state championship over a Shrine Bowl appearance.
Oh, I agree.
You know, for every time that Jones has thrown late over the middle, which is twice, and had one picked off, one not, he's made a good read like right here. He's rolling left, and he's got 2 wide receivers to pick from. He picks the correct one, has a first down at the 33.
1st and 10 to 33. Bad play, good play, bad play, good play.
As long as it's not picked off, it's not really a bad play.
This is true. Motion now for the Indians. Jones takes the snap from center, being pressured, steps up into the pocket, looking, still ducks away from one, throws over the middle. Little John is there. Little John makes the reception and gets across midfield. These two must have telepathy.
That has got to be tremendously frustrating for a defense to force him to take the ball down twice and almost have him trapped against the sidelines, and he still finds a man. That was throwing late over the middle across his body, but he had no one there who was going to come pick it off. A great
Good
play.
shot of the coaching staff for the Indians. 1st and 10 for the Indians at the Trojan 47. Jones is in the shotgun, takes the snap from center, standing at his own 45, being pressured again by Northwestern, throws it over the middle. He's got a man, and it is knocked away at the last moment by Ross. And Derek Ross.
He was on Coleman, and Coleman and Ross both made good adjustments to the ball, and Coleman might have played defensive back.
I think so. I think Ross was going for the interception.
But how many times can Jones do it? Again, he's pressured and moves out.
How many times can this defensive line get to him?
That's right. He doesn't have a pocket. He's got a rolling pocket. Every play.
Jones in the shotgun. He's got Byers next to him. Jones looking, throwing over the middle of Little John. Little John complete to the 40, to the 38-yard line, close to a first down. That was a designed reverse screen.
That was a great wide receiver screen. If it wasn't for number 95, Demetric Smith, it would have gone even longer. As it was, they got, looks like 9 yards, maybe almost 10 on the play. They're going to measure for it. But if it wasn't for Smith, they would have really had, Stiegel couldn't get there to make the play. They could have got maybe 10 more yards.
5:53 to go in regulation. It's 30-30. The measurement is down, and it is about a yard shy.
3rd and a yard.
You hear the band for the Indians and the band for Northwestern. About a yard to go.
I talked about a game-winning, game-ending drive with 6:57 left. They've run 6 plays in only a minute, so they're not going to end up this game on this drive.
No. 3rd down of the yard.
Maybe next drive they'll end up the game.
After it's 37-37. Ross steps under, or the Jones steps under center. You can see why it's easy to get these two confused. Takes a snap and gets the first down to the 35.
Now that will keep the clock running once they set the chains.
Initial stop was by Javon Sacker.
Fatigue might play a factor with Ross playing free safety back there. If he's got to lead his team down the field in the final minutes for a tying score, even the winning score, he's more fatigued probably than Jones is at this point, because Jones has only played spot defense in the defensive backfield.
1st and 10. Jones under center. Going back, looking downfield, being pressured, throws over the middle, complete to Little John again. Little John to the 15. Little John to the 13-yard line, brought down by Ross.
Great run by Little John after he got the ball. Again, there's telepathy between the two of them.
Jones a little slow getting up.
He is back at the 35-yard line, and he's wandering a little bit. Maybe he got hit in the hip. Looks like he's limping just a bit. With 5:09 left, it's not as bad as if it happened with 5:09 left in the second quarter of play.
He's all right.
He will be for a state championship game.
Oh, yeah.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 13.
You heal real quick for these. Reminds me of a story of a young man who tore his median collateral ligament and came back in 3 games. Jones steps under center with Byers in the backfield. Trips to the north. Littlejohn to the bottom of your screen. Hand off to Byers. No, Jones is going to keep it rolling outside and will not get anywhere. As big number 6 comes up with the play. Mario Gordon finally chases down Kentrell Jones.
Hadn't seen that yet. Just a keeper by Jones rolling to his left side, and Gordon had the speed to track him down.
Saw a state championship game 2 years ago in Florida between Jacksonville Sandalwood and Miami Northwestern. A kid named Frankie Franklin came back from a median collateral ligament tear, a 3rd-degree tear, to play in the state championship game 3 weeks later.
That's tough.
Kentrell Jones under center, 2nd down and 9, throwing the hot pass to Littlejohn, incomplete, threw it too hard.
Kirk was there on the timing pattern to break it up. A play we've seen 3 or 4 times here in the second half. A quick slant. And if that one is successful, then he's got a clear lane to the end zone. Now with 3rd down and 9 at the 13, Jones has got a decision to make here, because he's going to probably drop back and pass, and he's going to have a chance to scramble or to throw it, and they want to talk it over.
Yes, they do. They take a timeout. We'll take this break. With 3:58 to go in the game, it's 30-30. Well, Jim, it all comes down to this. It's a 3rd down and 9 at the 13-yard line. Jones is in the shotgun. Northwestern threatening blitz. Jones is in trouble. Jones runs away from it. Jones fakes the throw. Jones to the 5. Touchdown!
He is in. That was all Jones on that play again.
And Derek Ross cannot believe it.
Pressure up the middle by 3 Northwestern players, and they just in disbelief right now how they couldn't have had him. Topaz Nelson, Willie Wiley, and Morris Lumpkin.
You see the crowd from Gaffney on their feet. Look at Coach Montgomery. We've got an injury. Jones is actually hurt. Jones may just be exhausted. Here comes the extra point from Biedenball. The snap, the placement, the kick, it is up, and it's good. So Biedenball gets it through the uprights and makes it Gaffney 37, Northwestern 30. However, there's still 3 minutes and 48 seconds left in this game. And this game is far, far, far from over.
Now the way these two offenses are working. But you're right, that was simply a great effort by Jones. It was all Jones on that. Looked like an 11-play drive. That was the 11th play of the drive. They took the ball with 6:57 left on their own 20-yard line and drove all the way.
Take a look at this play. You'll see Kentrell Jones just break the pylon. Okay, he's running to the outside. He fakes the pump and dives across the plane, just breaking the pylon. I mean, he couldn't have been in bounds by more than an inch.
And now he's starting to run across the field, and that's when he saw his, oh boy.
Ross is back deep for Northwestern. They pooch it, and it's picked up by the upback.
Northwestern still has it. A hit off of a Northwestern player's foot on the line.
Tico Hicks recovers it at the 30. And Gaffney's philosophy is you are not going to beat us with a kickoff return.
And they won't. Northwestern has 3:45 left. They're 69 yards away.
They have 2 timeouts. No, they have 3 timeouts. Gaffney, if Northwestern scores and takes a lead, has 2 timeouts. And everything's possible in the state championships of the South Carolina High School League.
And Ross has done it with the run here in the second half for Northwestern, not the pass.
Ross takes a snap. Quick pitch outside to Brown. Turn in the corner. Brown gets outside, still on his feet, steps out at the 39-yard line, pickup of 8.
He ran over his own man, Tico Hicks. Hicks was between 2 defenders. He was trying to block someone, and Brown ran right into him, bounced off, and got 3 or 4 more yards.
2nd down and 1. Stopping the clock with 3:37.
That was a dangerous play to bring out here. They have not really run the option but once here this in the second half. It's been Ross keeping himself, and that was a tough pitch for him to make.
The ball at the 39-yard line. Ross in the shotgun with Brown next to him. Ross rolls near side, shovel pass to Brown. Brown to the 45-50. Brown cuts inside to the 45-yard line, still on his feet, down to the 43.
Beautiful.
Well, they're bringing out all kinds of wrinkles.
Beautiful calls. Just like a running play, except it looks like a pass play. You've got the linebackers and the safeties and cornerbacks dropping back. By the time they figure out the ball's in the hands of the running back Brown, he's 5 or 6 yards upfield. He's got a head of steam.
And if he drops it, it's an incomplete pass.
Wonderful play call.
Well, we talked about how quick Gaffney got downfield.
It's been less than a minute, and they're already down to 42. And you know, that two-point play we talked about before, that might be the decider in this game, too.
Ross in the shotgun with Brown next to him. Takes a snap. Gonna think about blitzing. He's being pressured, breaks away from it, and then goes down.
That was great defense there. Individual effort.
That was a blitz by number 24.
That's Jeffries.
Trinico Jeffries, a safety blitz, and Jeffries was in Ross's face. Grabbed a hold of him and would not let go.
Trinico Jeffries.
Watch this, folks. This is fundamental defense.
Top of the screen on the blitz. He grabs him and will not let the stiff arm put him down. He puts Ross down.
Takedown, 2 points. Second down and 12 or 22. Ross back to pass. He's got time. Over the middle, complete. Ross finds a man complete for a gain of about 18. To number 18, Jay Currents. Third down and 3.
That was a rifle shot again by Ross, and it was just past the outstretched arm of the, looked like the free safety or the strong safety for Gaffney was there, into Currents' hands.
Third and 3. The ball resting at the 35-yard line. Clock tick at 1:58. We're under 2 minutes. Maybe. We don't go into overtime. Ross takes the snap, rolls to the near side. Ross got protection, still looking downfield. He's got a man, and it's off the fingertips of Hicks. And if Hicks keeps running, Jimmy's in the end zone.
Guess who was defending on that play, too?
Yep.
Kentrell Jones. He's got to be tired, too. And Hicks almost reached up and got it.
It's 4th and 3, and a timeout will be taken by the Trojans. They've got to get a first down.
This is where you reach into your sure play. What play have you run throughout the entire year you know you can get 3 yards on?
Right.
In this case, with Ross's running in the second half, it's probably going to be some sort of rollout. But the last play was a rollout pass.
Well, Coach Jimmy Wallace is in the offensive huddle with the Trojans discussing the options. Now, if you're Coach Joe Montgomery, what do? Do you pack it tight and stop the run?
I think you run with your base defense. You don't want to blitz at this play because you don't know they're running, and you don't want to shoot someone by and have them run up a hole and get past you and get a long play. I think you play your base defense. You're getting some pressure from your defensive linemen, and you're doing some really good coverage back there, forcing Ross to make do with things. I would worry if I was Gaffney about.
Look at the Indian crowd doing the tomahawk chop, the war chant.
I would worry about the option, because the option play, if he cucks it and runs and they think he's going to pass, he can go a long way.
Everybody in the stadium is on their feet.
Including us.
Including us.
This has been a great game.
It has. 1:42 to go. Ross takes the snap, rolls to the near side. He's got pressure. Ross gets away from it somehow. Runs back to far side. Ross is going down as the Gaffney defense snuffs it out. How did Ross get away the first time? We don't know. But the Gaffney defense said, no, sir, you will not get away from us twice.
It was Trinico Jones, Jeffries, who finally brought him down, and there is jubilation on the Gaffney sideline.
Ross trying so hard to make it happen. Looking for a receiver. Could not find one. And with 1:29 to go in the game, we have a timeout called by the Indians. And look at the crowd celebrating what they anticipate to be a state championship. But there's still a minute 28 left, and everything that possibly could happen in this game has happened except a safety.
I'm not sure exactly what the play call was there, but it looked like Ross had a run-pass option, and he decided early on he was going to run it. As you said, he made a great play just to get away from what looked like a sure tackle and loss on this side of the field. He rambled all the way across the other side of the field, and it looked like if he went straight up the middle, that he would get the first down.
Oh, yeah.
He cut it out to the right side and got tripped up by Jeffries.
Look at Coach Joe Montgomery with his entire team gathered around him. talking to them about what they need to do and to stay focused for a minute 23 or a minute 29. Well, we told you it was going to be a battle of miracle men. And Kentrell Jones hands it off. No, he's going to keep it. Jones trying to turn the corner. Jones will not get the corner, and the Trojans will call a timeout.
That was a play designed to take as much time off the clock, even if it didn't get much yardage.
Trojans timeout.
And we'll be back after this.
One minute, 18 seconds remaining in this 4A Super 16 Division I state championship game. The snap, the handoff, and Byers gets the daylight and almost picks up the first down.
I believe
the clock
he's got
will
it.
roll.
I think he's got it.
The clock stops for the resetting of the chains. Now, if you're Coach Jimmy Wallace, do you call a timeout after this play?
I think you've got to. You've got to keep as much time on that clock as possible. That could have sealed it right there, that first down. The Gaffney fans certainly think so. You can hear them in the background.
1:10 to go. Gaffney fans celebrating what they think will be a state championship victory. 13-1 coming into the season, or into the playoffs.
This has been a state championship game, too. We've had comebacks, we've had great plays, we've had near misses. Northwestern has played a tremendous game, and Gaffney has played that much better to have that 7-point lead.
Jones under center with the I formation. Takes a snap and takes a knee.
And here's a timeout by Northwestern. I'm sorry, they don't have any left.
That was their last. No, you're right. They do. They have one left. That was their last one.
They let some time run off the clock.
Yeah, they did.
So when the
34 seconds remaining, and look at this. Look at Kentrell Jones, the leader that he is, with Joe Montgomery discussing what's going to go on the last play of the 1997 South Carolina High School League Class 4A Division I state championship game. And you mentioned earlier, 6 years in a row, the same conference has produced the state champion, and this will be number 7.
Number 7 in a row. The last time that this conference that these two teams were in did not produce the Big 16 champion was 1990. In that stretch, Rock Hill has won. Spartanburg won 2 state championships, and they were unbeaten in both campaigns. This conference also has a Gaffney in it. I'm sorry, Union in it, and Union won the 3A championship in 1995. So they had a 3A and 4 and the Big 16 champion out of the same conference in 1 year.
Wow. Well, here comes what could be the final play of the game, and Kentrell Jones takes a knee. And the clock will count it down. We will let the crowd count down the last 10 seconds. As the Gaffney Indians have survived their biggest challenge, they have staved off the comeback of the Northwestern Trojans. They have held it off. They have come and won this game 37-30.
This is the best 10 seconds of these young people's lives right here as they count down to the victory. And this is not just a team victory, this is a town victory.
The 1997 South Carolina High School League Class 4A Division I state champions are the Gaffney Indians, winning 37-30 over the Northwestern Trojans. I want to thank Jim Corbett for joining us here in the booth, and we appreciate you joining us. Also, our lovely spotter,
Allison Harrell, who is a Gaffney High graduate.
Also, Sonny Davis, who's been our runner and statistician, and our executive producer, Troy Melquist.
What a pleasure to be able to see this game, much less call it.
Northwestern has nothing to hold their head down. They were down 23-7 before they started just absolutely in the second half. It was the Derek Ross show.
He tucked the ball up under his arm, ran what didn't even look like an option, just a sweep play from the quarterback position, scored a couple touchdowns, scored the 2-point conversion. But that drive that we talked about, starting at the 20, then at the 15, after the 5-yard penalty negated that long pass play, Jones led his team downfield, and they ended up scoring the winning touchdown.
And Jones scores the winning touchdown.
With that touchdown pass, he made a great play to get into the end zone when he avoided the 2 tacklers that we just couldn't understand how he got out of there through the touchdown pass. And now this is what all these kids have worked so hard for so long.
Well, the final score, Gaffney 37, Northwestern 30.
Presentation of the state championship winners of trophy to the Northwestern Trojans of Rock Hill. Congratulations to each of you. You've had a great season, truly a championship year. Fans, if you're just coming into the stadium before we have the battle pair, Lakeview and McCormick.
Well, it's been a miracle finish for the Gaffney Indians, the state championship, Jim, and we said in the beginning of this game it was the miracle men of Kentrell Jones and Derek Ross. That's exactly how it finished.
37-30, you can't ask for a better high school football championship game for the Gaffney Indians, a state championship for Northwestern High School, a tremendous effort, tremendous comeback from a 23-7 deficit. You saw a passing-oriented team of Northwestern in the first half, a run-oriented team with Derek Ross in the second half. He made some tremendous plays, but the man who won this game for the Gaffney Indians was Kentrell Jones, number 12 in black. He made every play, every pass by ducking away from the tremendous pressure of Northwestern High School. And Mr. Jones is going to the Shrine Bowl representing the state of South Carolina, and he has done a great job here today in winning the state championship for the Gaffney Indians.
Well, for the Indians, they finished their season at 14-1 for Coach Joe Montgomery's squad. Coach Jimmy Wallace takes his Trojans back with a 12-3 record. And again, the Conference of Champions is just that, the Conference of Champions.
And they win the state championship again. The last time that a team from this conference didn't win the state championship in Big 16 play was 1990. So they go back for another one next year. And every team in the conference is proud of these two teams getting here to the state finals. And today, Gaffney was the better team, and they are the state champions.
Our thanks to Jim Corbett for joining us. Also, thank you for watching.